Welcome to So and So, brought to you by Bernina, Made to Create. I'm Meg Goodman, and you're about to enjoy a casual conversation with special members of the sewist and quilting community. A conversation about how they got started, what inspires them, what excites them, and their connection to this community. Our guests today come to us from the world of fabric design as we welcome Pat and Walter Bravo from Art Gallery Fabrics, textile manufacturer in Miami, Florida. Both born in Buenos Aires, Argentina, Pat got the sewing bug beside her mother, and as she sewed, she dreamt of painting her world with fabrics. As Pat created a gallery in their home with quilts, their son named it an art gallery, and an idea was born. So Pat and her husband Walter turned this passion into a company, and Art Gallery Fabrics began. Pat's life always revolved around art, history, sewing, and later quilting, while Walter's was all about entrepreneurship and commerce regarding awards and accomplishments. Pat and Walter have one son, two new puppies, Sol and Luna, and many stories to share. Hello, Pat and Walter, and welcome to So and So.
Oh,
Hello,
thank you
Meg.
so
Thank you for
much.
having us here.
It is wonderful to share this time with you. I've heard so much about you. I've seen your work online, and it is magnificent. So I can't wait to share this. Pat, we're going to start with you. You grew up sewing with your mother. So tell us about those early days, starting when you were 9 years old, and what inspired you to continue sewing.
Very early in elementary school, my mother sent me to a home economics school. So, in home economics school in the 1960s, you were taught to learn cross stitch and hand sewing and embroidery and knitting. So that's where I start at early age. At 9 years old, my mother's had me sat by her side in her sewing machine, and I start founding this love of sewing that accompanied my entire life. There is no one day in my life that I didn't sew. So how my story began.
What did you like so much about sewing?
The sense of accomplishment is
Hmm.
one of them, and also the accomplishment is the most important thing, is that you can finish something that you started. It invites you to create something new, and then more and again. Also the sense of satisfaction that you find working with your hands, that you can finish something with your hands. That's craftsmanship. This is what it inclines me to sew always, all the time.
Pat, you say that you dreamt of painting the world with fabric. Tell us about this.
Oh, yeah. Well, as years passed by, I got married at a very early age. And then, because of my husband's job, we moved here to the US, which is now our country, around 35 years ago. And then, I couldn't bring my sewing machine with me. But after a little bit, Walter gave me a surprise. He bought me my first Kenmore 30 stitches. And there I started sewing and sewing and sewing. And then I discovered quilting by chance, going to a Joanne store. And from there, I started quilting, because in my country, I used to sew garments, not quilting or home decor. So I started sewing, everything related to quilting. And then I went from traditional quilting to art quilts. And there, what the change was made in my life when I started doing art quilts and the raw edge applique technique, that it seems to be like you're painting with fabrics. And then I started trying to find fabrics, sometimes of some type of batiks, that in that moment, in about the 19 around the 1990s, there were not many shades for rocks and trunks and vegetation. There are not many greens. So there I said, what if I start painting my own fabrics and painting different shades for different greens, for different sky blues, for all of that. So I discovered a couple of books on hand painting, which is I I never did dyes. I always hand painted my fabrics. So I started hand painting, and from there, I were in Miami at that moment, because before we were living in New York for around 15 years, and then when we moved here and I started painting, I used to go to a guild here in South Miami,
Hmm.
and the people were really fascinated with the colors that I started painting, and I said, "Can you paint for me? Can you paint for me?" From there, they advised me to go to local quilt shops and sell my hand painted pieces, fat quarters. Usually, they were fat quarters hand painted. So I went there, and from that local shows, my husband accompanied me to cross state shows. And from there, my ultimate goal, my dream of all time, is if I could attend one day, quilt festival. So that was my ultimate dream. And Walter came with me. He accompanied me one time, and he was fascinated um, with the amount of people and the love for sewing and the love that all these women, men, everybody was sharing about sewing and quilting. So many people asked me to paint more. This is where I start accessing art quilters, famous art quilters that they gave me some orders, for example, to paint skin shades or green shades or blues for skies. And I started doing custom orders. And so as I was taking more custom orders, I started hand stamping fabrics with different kind of motifs. Some I did it myself. I carved it myself. Some I bought them, and the people were very interested in those fabrics. They were unique pieces, right? They were unique pieces, and so they were so unique that my husband saw the interest that people, because I start vending at the shows. So my husband starts seeing the interest in the people. This is how he proposed me to start a company manufacturing ourselves my designs. And this is how our gallery fabrics was born in 2004.
On your website, I've watched the video of your office, and your office is beautiful. It looks like an art gallery. It's just, and I'm sure that's why you set it up that way. Would you walk us through, just kind of give us a visual explanation of some of the beautiful work that is hanging in your office?
Yeah, well, it wasn't like this all the time. We started from our house. We started from our house, and our garage was, the first shipping department that we have. But we started this with Walter with so much passion and love, and he was relying in my love of fabrics, and because I was a quilter before, so I knew that what I didn't want in a fabric and what I really wanted in fabric. So I started trying to uh, conquer a niche that I saw it was empty in the industry, that it was contemporary, elegant designs. And this is how I started. The company now is beautiful, is big, is growing, is healthy, and we couldn't be more thrilled. So, regard you go in the entrance. I don't know if you saw that famous video of the drone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have all the offices. We have an amazing team of workers, an amazing team of designers, creatives, all sort of people from all nationalities, and they really share the same passion. I try to instill them the passion of sewing, which is something that is they're going to carry for their entire life.
Mm-hmm.
um, so the designs, I started designing myself until it was 2009 that I was a friend with Barry J, but she was designing for another company at that moment. So we started talks in 2009, and in 2010, she signed the first contract that she was the first designer to start designing for us. And from there, we start growing the amount of licensed designers we have, but we also have an in-house department and a company, but a team of amazing ladies that design beautiful fabrics. This is our brand, our own brand, in-house studio.
Well, I would encourage anybody listening to go check out that video. It's beautiful. Walter, I want to talk to you a little bit. You and Pat are from Argentina.
Yes.
How did you meet? And tell us why you came to America.
We met at a disco actually in 1982.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and I didn't like to dance, but one of my friends he convinced me to go one night, and I went and I met Pat that night. So we started going out. So it was a pure coincidence that we met, and then we've been together for 40 plus years now. And I moved to this country because our country in Argentina is too much up and downs and a lot of issues in the economy and the government and the politicians and everything. So 1989, I had the possibility to move here and say, let's try it. If it works, work. If it doesn't, we come back. So as soon as I get into this country, I love it. This is my country. That's it. I'm not going back anymore. So I say, I love America.
Walter, you initially worked in the clothing industry, I think.
Well, in my country, I used to work in the carpet industry.
Uh-huh.
And when I got to here in New York, yeah, I started doing garments. I created a company in New York with a partner, and we started doing leather coats and jeans and sportswear. So I was traveling those days. I was traveling like 200 days of the year. I was traveling around the world, buying products and making products and doing things. And we created a very good brand in that time, and that's the way I started here in USA.
So you initially started out in New York and then you moved to Miami.
Yes, when and after the 9/11, we feel like in New York, I don't know, it lost something to us. So
Uh-huh.
and the weather, the cold weather was too much for us to handle. So we say, okay, let's move out. And so I finished with that company. We finished with that company, and then we moved to Miami. And I was retired for a few years.
Mhm.
As well, I told Pat always when I was working, like traveling so much, I say when I'm 40, I want to retire.
Mhm.
So by 2002, I was 41, and we moved to Miami, and I didn't do much for 2 3 years until we start with our gallery fabrics. So I was really retired at that time, but it was too
And
much free time, so I couldn't take it. It was too much free time for me.
and you are certainly not retired anymore. Would you tell us about your role at Art Gallery Fabrics?
I mean, we do everything. Between Pat and me, we do the whole thing. We control the company with very in very close control. But I do mostly the finance part and the production part
Mhm.
and the sales part also. I mean, with my son, we do also the sales. So when we go to the shows or the reps, the sales rep we have, we talk to them. We do with my son also that, and that's what I do. I mean, the whole day. So
Yeah, the commercialization and distribution.
yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, for
distribution,
the
the
entire
distributors. We
world.
have distributors all over the world. I mean, we do, it's a lot of things that every day. It's hard to remember everything, but it's to keep the company going. We don't have sales managers. We don't have, finance people. We do everything ourselves.
So I want to ask both of you to answer this. What's it like for you to work with your spouse?
It's not an issue actually because since we are in two different fields. um, it's not like we have to every minute we have to be together. I mean, and now Pat mostly work from home, so she's home and I'm in the office every day. So I mean, we talk, of course, we do go over things, but it's like the day to day things. It's not like we have to be, doing. She does everything with the design and all that part and the marketing and all the makers and everything else, and I do all the other part. So it's not a conflict actually, and we've been together for 42 years, so we know each other very well.
And for me, it is a blessing. I mean, it is a blessing because, I before that, I was sewing in my home. I always was a housewife, and I was proud of that, and I love that. And I say that I'm proud because I was taking care of my son. Walter was working very hard to build a company and to give us a good life to the family. So I took that role in the early years. So I was a typical housewife. So for me to start working with him and learning about commerce and sales and all this world, the world commerce and business, it was something completely new for me. So for me, it is a blessing. The thing with us is it works really well because no one is stepping on the foot of the other. So for example, he doesn't say anything about design. Uh, the collections are what we are presenting and the marketing plans. And then I don't step into the business decisions. For example, if he decides to start opening this market in that country or that country, I trust him and he trusts me. That's the base. I think that's the secret is the mutual trust that we have on each other.
Now, I'm going to quote you both here. This is off of your website, and I'm going to read this. It said, "The magic began as the art gallery fabric team became a family, tightly knit and woven, just like our fabrics, where our team shares the same passion for bringing creative ideas to life and is consistently pushing the limits to transmit to our community of makers." Would you tell us more about your team and why it's become family to you?
Yeah, because we are a truly family-owned company. We are a truly family-owned company. Is Walter and me, and our son Alexander, and my sister Andrea, and then an amazing team of lovely people that collaborate with us. Uh, Walter has his own team. He works more in the warehouse. He works more on the shipping department and the commerce, and I work more on the creative area of the company is the biggest, maybe because it's all the departments that we need in order to function. So we have a graphic design department, we have a production department where we saw all the samples for our digital lookbooks. We have a big marketing team uh, where I control. So maybe my team is bigger than his, but it's truly a family because we are not a corporation. We don't hire a person because of like let's say just a pure cold business decision. No, we like the values of the people that work with us. We are very interested in that. We I always ask if how about they love for craft, and especially if they have been working with fabric. So for us, it's very important. All the people that work with us are family to us.
Walter, is that the same for you?
Yes, exactly the same. I mean, we treat them like as a family, and they feel like it's a family business, and they very rare somebody leave our company. I mean, unless they move to a different state or I don't know, they find some. But I mean, the employees we have, some of them they're already like 18 years, 19 years. Some of them are 10, 15 years. It's like nobody really leave the company. It's not like constantly another company is constantly changing people. Here we don't have that problem.
Yeah, for us is they have to share the same passion, and I always say the same thing to everybody. We are nobody without you because you help us build the company. Walter and us, as much as we will want, there's not enough hours in the day that we can achieve every single role in the company. So the people that accompany us help us build the company, so they're all so much important for us.
So I want to talk a little bit about your designers, and I'm going to quote you again. It said, "We also have the pleasure of working with talented fabric designers who create enriching color palettes and artful, intricate prints that make our collections one of a kind." Would you tell us about some of your designers and how you choose the patterns that ultimately become your fabrics?
The best designers in the world, the best. Since Barry J, all of them share a great passion for designing textiles, and they're not only because they have a license and they wanna just design a line of fabrics, because they are part of the quilting industry. They're quilters. They feel as much as I do. So we have such a big talents as again Barry J, Bonnie Christine, Katerina Rochella, Maureen Cracknell. Um, they are so important for us. I don't want to forget uh, about anyone. Sharon Holland, and then we have Amy Sinibaldi. Amy Sinibaldi. We have Jessica
Susie
Swift,
quilts.
Susie Quilts, which is our latest incorporation, an amazing girl that she shares the passion for quilting. She is quilting in her veins. And then the last edition is a group of five young girls that they love quilting, so they decide to become like a group that is called the Social Bee Collective. So it's a group of five ladies that they share the same passion of quilting, and I propose them to start, like a group of designers, and they design collaborative fabric collections.
Do you have a certain look or style that somebody would look at a piece of fabric and say, "Oh my gosh, I know where that came from"?
I think it's instantly recognizable. One of our fabrics, two reasons. Again, if I go back to what I was saying to you before, I when I was a quilter, I was going to shops in New York and then here in Miami to buy fabrics, and I couldn't find the type of fabrics that it caught my attention. Maybe because of my European heritage, both my families are from came as an immigrants from Europe in the early past century, and they maybe this is what I really love, and I couldn't find that type of design. It's a little bit more European or elevated and sophisticated. So again, I was buying the fabrics and I couldn't find that type of design that I love. When I said I was trying to conquer that niche that I saw empty in the industry, which is the contemporary elegant, this is what I went for. So they're easily recognizable. This is one of the reasons. The other reasons is the colorations that we use or the color stories that we use. We never use pure hues. So over there, you're going to find like um, a key thing about our fabrics. We never use pure hues. We use hues that has just a hint of black or just a hint of white, that it gives a very like evocative, let's say an evocative, let's say look to the flowers
Hmm.
or the geometrics. Um, and this is how I wanted to see the style of designs that we were doing. And I always and again, I surround myself with designers that they were so eager to pursue that also colorations and style of design. We have Barry J, which is the maximalist by excellence, and she never renegade of that. She was always proud of to be a maximalist. So the use of color that she can give to her designs are so appropriate for that. So we have so many designers that the incorporate that idea to their mind. So our fabrics has an evocative, also a characteristic of our gallery fabrics that you're never going to find white, because I see quilting as a heirloom. And in my dreams, in my thoughts, I always see like a like a quilt as something from the past that you carry on from generation to generation. So if you look at that, you see something from the past is not something white or pure bright white. So we don't use whites on our fabric. So that's another characteristic that art gallery fabrics have. I don't know if I explained more or less.
It does, and as people see examples of that, I think that from listening to what you said and then seeing these, they'll become instantly recognizable. Now, here's a question you both, I think, will share because you have different parts in the process. But can you take us through the process from dreaming up a pattern to creating it to making it available to sewists and quilters?
Well, the it starts from a dream. I'm going to tell you, I have 44 collections on my back. So I can tell you about me, but I see it in the other designers because we have a lot of video conversations. I like to work very much hand on hand with each designer, and I ask them to let me know what you were dreaming of to do, like for example, a description of the collection, a mood board. We work with a lot of mood boards that are very important in order to explain me or let me see where you're coming from. Why did you design that type of flower, and why did you design that medium design geometric that accompanies that? So it is like something like a special, like we try to create, but it all starts with a dream of. Let me put an example, maybe the listeners will understand more. On my first trip to Paris in 2009, I went for inspiration. I went purely for inspiration. And I was taking lots of pictures of everything that I could find, from streets and stores and knickknacks and all the things that I could take pictures of. And from there, I start putting all the pictures in a mood board. And this is how dreaming, my collection, Dreaming of Paris, came through. Is like the colors and the mood. And how evocative. For me, the word, you're going to hear a lot about the word evocative, because when you see a quilt, it brings you back memories or recollections, or a smell, or a thought, or something that is going to take you back to that moment where you created the quilt, or when you gave this quilt to your daughter as a wedding gift, or when you where you cuddle your son or your daughter. There's a So for me, the word evocative means a lot, because I always try to be transported to that moment. So as I create my fabric collections in that way, I see many of our designers are inspired something, and they come to me with an idea. And this idea is, you start with an idea, you never know where you are going to end. That idea can metamorphosize, can change, can evolve. And this is how I like it, because I never constrain the designer not to do. I never tell the designer what to do. Is they submit a collection to me saying that this is how I got inspired, and it's about this and that and that. Yes, I share with them upcoming colors for the next years. We work with a forecaster and the agency, and colors is one of the most important things. Maybe we are now designing
Hmm.
colors and collections for late 2026. So that's important. So I may pass by colors or moods or things that are going to be important in the next year, in for home and garden. And then from there, they come with their own groups that they create, and they bring me a mood board. They bring me like a description, and this is the most important thing, that they love what they do. I will never tell a designer, do a collection in red and white. No, 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 no. I never do that. I try to work with the designer. The designer submit. I may say to them, maybe this color is not going to be so popular next year, so maybe we should change that. Or, there's always a problem when you have so many designers working with you, is that the overlapping of colors. When a color is trendy in our society, they all tend to design with the same colors. So they all come with collections that are they have the same colors. And since we cater, quilters from all over the world, I have to be, let's say, open and say, okay, let's propose these colors, but also let's propose a collection about these colors and about those colors. So I
Hmm.
try to help them or to guide them.
And so you've dreamt up the pattern,
Yes.
and then what makes it become an actual fabric? What happens?
Well, from there we send the files to the mills, and they start the process of making the strike off. So they start sending the samples, the first samples, so we can do corrections of colors or the mistakes or anything they do, and then from there the process starts. So once we have corrected everything, we start the production of the collection.
And then once the collection is done, Walter, is it then in your hands to take it out to market?
Yes, one. Well, when we have the collection finished, the design, we do this sales boards we call, which is on paper, and with the sales rep they go out and sell with pre-sell the collection with those boards, and at the same time we're making the samples at the mill. So when we're taking orders for future delivery, we are also making the production so ready to start making the collection. So as soon as we work like a 6 or 8 months in advance, so we have enough time to do corrections and to print it, to bring it in by boat. From we print everything in Korea, so everything from there take like a 60 to 90 days.
So it's about a 5 to 8 month process from beginning to end?
Yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
From beginning to end is around like we are now finishing May, so yeah, like it's 6 to 8 months, depends.
Do the people that create with your fabrics ever send you pictures of what they've done? And if so, what's that like?
Constantly,
Uh-huh.
constantly. And they send us also so many emails saying thank you for the quality you make. Your fabrics are amazing. They're the best
Mhm.
fabric in the market. I mean, they constantly we get email from makers, and they put on Instagram and Facebook everywhere. I mean,
That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
they that feels so good actually. That's what you make you feel so good. That people really enjoy working with our fabrics.
Maybe, Walter, you want to explain the other characteristic of our gallery fabric is the base cotton
Quality.
that we use. Yes.
The
They,
quality, yeah. I mean, we use a cotton that is nobody else in the industry use, as a higher thread count,
Mhm.
and our motto is feel the difference. And when you sew with our fabric, you feel the difference. I mean, it's like a 205 thread count
Mhm.
compared to 120 the other fabrics that people make, and so it's a big difference when you sew with the fabric, and that's what the people after they sew. I mean, we're a small company, we're not a big company, but when little by little, more people are knowing us, and they know the quality, and we keep always from the first day to today, we keep the same quality of fabric.
Mhm.
We don't change anything.
Now, I understand that your designs sometimes are inspired by various cultures or experiences that you've had. Is there a special collection that holds a special place in your heart because of an experience or a culture that you were a part of?
well, for me is my indie trilogy. My indie trilogy. I have a trilogy where I came first with my original indie. At that moment, we were doing less SKUs than we do now, but mm, it was based on the cultures of areas of Morocco, and then the Himalayas, Nepal, and Bhutan.
Hmm.
The hand craftsmanship of the people from there. So you can see in the patterns. There are also a mix of some on Mongolian craftsmanship designs, also very, very well known there. So this is how I got inspired for my first indie collection. And then I mix also with some European style designs, from paintings, from famous paintings. And And then after that, it passed some time, and I came with my second installment, which is called Indie Bohem. And that was more on the bohemian side of the indie. Indie for me is a word that it gathers a lot of feelings, because indie is something that you do it uh, yourself, that it doesn't belong to no to anybody, that
Hmm.
is a part of the culture. And I like to celebrate cultures. I love to celebrate culture from all over the world, so my collections revolve around that. And my latest installment, it was I think maybe is one of most famous one, which is indie folk, and is more on the folk side
Hmm.
of the indie design. Um, so this by far are my three most beloved collections. Also, the one that I did for my mother after she died was in homage to her, and the name of the collection is Nuncia, and it carries her name. My mother's name was Nuncia. It's a short for Annunciation. Um, my mother was from Italy descendant, so this is another collection that I treasure in my heart.
So I have to ask you both. I know you have two dogs, Sol and Luna, and
Yes.
it's been cute. We've heard them in the background. I think they very much wanted to be a part of this podcast, but
Yes, they want to be part of everything.
so they're 1 year old. Tell us about your dogs.
Oh my God, this is the most. I mean, I am a dog lover. I always have dogs since I am three. Since I was 3 years old, now I'm 63, and I always, when I have the chance, I have dogs. And after my last two dogs that they die, I stayed for a time that I wasn't suffering so much that I said to Walter, I don't want to have I don't want to have dogs anymore. I'm crying and I'm suffering so much, because it's nice to when you get the puppies, but it's so sad when they die. So, and after a while I said, you know what, I cannot hold it anymore. I need to get uh, another dog. So we went to a shop. We went to the shop, and I'm going to tell you this story because it's really crazy. He came with me. He was a little bit hesitant to get a new dog that it maybe at this time of our life is going to be not helpful. It's going to bring us more problem or mobility problems, or all these type of things. But I said, okay, let's go, because they bring such company to me. So we went there, and I fall in love with the coca poodle,
Hmm.
black, which her name is Luna, and it's completely black, and it's a cutie. It's a cutie, and I fall in love. And what I say, yeah, she's so cute. She's so cute. And then I saw him looking across the room. There was another puppy in one of the other windows, a golden doodle. And he was looking at, and then I got close, and I saw her. It's so adorable. And we start looking at each other and say, should we bring both home? So I think we are one of the only crazy people in this world that buy two puppies at the same time, the same day, and bring the puppies with us.
Uh-huh.
The beginning was a nightmare.
Walter and me, it's like we started a family again. So because our son, of course, he lives on his own. So it's like we have two daughters now.
And I'm sure that they're very involved in the business and they
Yes.
help you out.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they try all the fabrics, they eat all the fabrics, they
Yes,
test
Nice.
it, they
they
test all the
chew
fabrics
everything.
and the threads.
Nice.
They're so energetic, and they're 1 year, 3 months old. 1 year, 3 months. So
They're your quality testers. They taste the fabric for you.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
If they pass the test, it's the best fabric.
so the golden doodle, we call her Sol, because Sol in Spanish is sun,
Mhm.
because she's gold, and Luna is the black cockapoo.
Pat and Walter, what's next for you and what's your dream?
Oh, that question is for me first, I think. Well, to keep growing, to keep working, to keep loving family, uh, work, uh, the community as well. Oh, I'm so excited because now we signed a new contract with Bernina. I don't know if anybody knows that my eternal love for Bernina. Uh, I am I am a Bernina lover because I am a Bernina owner. That's my motto. I was a Bernina ambassador a few years ago. We developed a beautiful friendship with Paul Ashworth. Walter and we became friends. He's an amazing guy, and I love the Bernina, especially because how good it is. It's so well made, and I've been sewing with Bernina. I don't know since I have so many years, and now I'm excited because I signed a contract for the company of two new machines, so we are going to be able to share everything in the blog. We also so this is something super excited, so people stay tuned to see beautiful tutorials for the We Also blog.
We'll look forward to that. Walter, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, we love what we do. We enjoy it. For us, it's not work. It's a pleasure to do what we do. But also, we planning to do a little more traveling. Now going a little more different places and enjoy a little more our free time. So those are the staying healthy and do a little more things that we have more time now to do. That's basically what we're looking to.
So in our conversation today, we talked about a lot of things. Is there any question I didn't ask either one of you that you wish I had?
And that I love my husband. I love my husband is the best thing that could possibly happen in my life. He is the best friend, husband, father, and thank you so much for helping. Bring my dream come true, which is the love of fabrics.
We feel the same way to each other. So that's why we've been married
Yeah,
for 40 years. So that's why for us it's a really a pleasure because we feel that the company is a family. It's like you come home every day, or this is the ambience on the company. So it's really like a pleasure to work. It's not crazy thing going on. It's nothing like a rushing or nothing. Everything is smooth and easy to work with. So that's why we feel like we create a really good company.
You both, it has been wonderful to talk to you today. As our listeners would like to reach out to you, what's the best way for them to contact you?
It will be through the website, info at artgalleryfabrics.com. They can contact there or in Instagram or Facebook, any other place that they.
yeah. On Instagram, we have the Art Gallery Fabrics handle. On Pinterest, exactly the same. On Facebook, and on our website, we're finishing a new and entirely redesigned website that they can go in. I think in maximum 2-3 months is going to be ready. It's going to be artgalleryfabrics.com. Uh, so thank you so much for this amazing interview. We enjoy it. We have a great time.
Pat and Walter Bravo, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Meg. Thank you so much. We enjoy
Thank
it.
you. Thank you, everybody.
Well, there you have it, another story about people just like you. People for whom sewing and quilting and fabric is so much more than a hobby. It's a way of life and a connection to something bigger. If you know someone you think has an outstanding story, a story that should be shared on this podcast, please drop me a note to meg@soandsopodcast.com or complete the form on our website. Be sure to subscribe to, review, and rate this podcast on your favorite platform, and visit our website, soandsopodcast.com, for more information about today's and all of our guests. That's SEWANDSO podcast.com. And finally, I want to thank Bernina for making this program possible. I'm Meg Goodman, and I look forward to you joining us next time on So and So.